Once upon a time, in a small town filled with colorful houses and friendly faces, lived a young girl named Lily. From the moment she could hold a crayon, Lily absolutely adored drawing. Her tiny hands would clutch pencils and markers, eager to bring the vibrant pictures in her mind to life on paper. She drew everything: fluffy clouds floating in the sky, busy little squirrels scampering up trees, and even her cheerful dog, Buster, chasing butterflies in the garden. But even though Lily loved drawing with all her heart, it wasn't always easy. Sometimes, the pictures in her head looked so clear and perfect, but when she tried to draw them, they came out a bit wobbly or not quite right. The fluffy clouds might look like lumpy potatoes, and Buster's legs often seemed to go in different directions. This made Lily feel a little sad sometimes. She wished her drawings could look just like the beautiful art she saw in books. These challenges often made her sigh, but deep down, a tiny spark of determination always glowed. She knew that even if it was hard, she didn't want to stop trying. Even with her determined spirit, Lily often felt a pang of disappointment. She would carefully pick up her brightest yellow crayon, picturing a sunny sunflower with big, happy petals. But on the paper, the petals would be uneven, some too short, others too long, and the center looked more like a lumpy brown circle than a cheerful sunflower heart. Her attempts at drawing her mom's beautiful smile sometimes ended up looking more like a crooked line, making Lily sigh deeply. One afternoon, she tried to draw Buster, her playful dog, jumping to catch a ball. In her mind, Buster was soaring through the air, full of joy. On paper, however, he looked like a strange, stretched-out animal with a ball floating far away from his mouth. Lily crumpled the paper into a tight ball, her eyes feeling a little watery. It was so frustrating when her hand couldn't make the pictures in her head come out right. She'd compare her drawings to the perfect pictures in her storybooks, wishing her animals had smooth fur and her flowers had even petals. These little struggles made her feel like maybe she wasn't a real artist, even though she loved art so very much. One day, during art class at school, Lily was trying to draw a bird, but its wings looked more like pointy sticks than soft feathers. She felt that familiar wave of frustration wash over her, ready to crumple another sheet of paper. Just then, her art teacher, Ms. Evergreen, walked by. Ms. Evergreen had kind eyes that crinkled at the corners when she smiled and always wore a paint-splattered apron. She paused at Lily's desk and looked at the drawing, not at the wobbly wings, but at the tiny, careful lines Lily had made on the bird's belly. "Lily," Ms. Evergreen said softly, her voice warm like sunshine, "I see how hard you're trying. That little bird has so much spirit." Lily looked up, surprised. Ms. Evergreen then gently placed her hand on Lily's shoulder. "Art isn't just about making things look perfect right away. It's about trying, learning, and putting your heart into it. I see your heart in this drawing." She picked up Lily's pencil. "What if we try making the wings a little rounder, like this?" With a few gentle strokes, Ms. Evergreen showed Lily a different way to draw the feathers. It wasn't perfect, but it was better, and Lily felt a warm feeling spread through her chest. Ms. Evergreen's words made Lily feel seen and understood, like her effort truly mattered. Ms. Evergreen's encouraging words had truly lit a new spark in Lily. She started looking at her drawings with fresh eyes, focusing more on the joy of creating than on every tiny mistake. Then, a few weeks later, a big announcement was made at school. There would be a grand art contest for all students. The winner would have their artwork displayed in the town library for everyone to see. When Lily first heard about it, her heart did a little flutter dance of excitement. Imagine her drawing, right there, for everyone. But soon, a chilly wave of fear washed over her. A contest? With all the students? What if her drawing still looked like lumpy potatoes next to someone else's perfect painting? The thought made her stomach do flip-flops. She remembered her past struggles, the crumpled papers, and the tears. Despite the butterflies in her tummy, the idea of the contest kept pulling at her. She thought about Ms. Evergreen's kind words about putting her heart into her art. Maybe, just maybe, this was her chance to show what she could do. One evening, she took a deep breath and told her parents she wanted to enter. They smiled, proud of her bravery. So, with a mix of thrill and nervousness bubbling inside her, Lily decided to join the big school art contest. With her decision made, Lily chose a special subject for her contest drawing: a beautiful, old oak tree in her backyard, covered in climbing vines and home to many chattering birds. She loved that tree, and it felt like the perfect way to show her heart. From that day on, Lily dedicated herself completely to her artwork. After school, while her friends played, Lily would rush home, not to play, but to draw. She spread out her big drawing paper on the kitchen table, surrounded by her pencils, crayons, and new watercolor paints. She sketched the tree from different angles, trying to capture its twisty branches and rough bark. She practiced drawing leaves, one by one, until they looked light and fluttery. Often, the sun would set, and her mom would call her for dinner, but Lily would still be bent over her paper, adding tiny details. Sometimes, she would even stay up a little later than usual, the soft glow of her desk lamp illuminating her focused face. Her eyes, usually sparkling with playfulness, were now serious and determined. Each line, each shade of green, each speck of color was added with immense care and a deep desire to make this drawing the very best she could. She wasn't just drawing, she was pouring her whole heart into every stroke. Even with all her hard work and determination, the old feelings of frustration would sometimes creep back. One evening, Lily was trying to draw the tiny, delicate leaves on the oak tree's branches. She had spent a long time mixing just the right shade of green, but when she painted them onto the paper, they looked too dark, almost like blobs, instead of light and airy. A wave of disappointment washed over her. She stared at the messy leaves, a frown creasing her brow. "It's just not right," she mumbled to herself, her voice barely a whisper. She felt a familiar urge to just throw her paintbrush down and walk away. All that effort, all those hours, and it still didn't look like the beautiful tree in her mind. Her eyes started to prickle, and she imagined crumpling this drawing, just like she used to do with her earlier attempts. "Maybe I'm just not good enough for this contest," she thought, a heavy feeling settling in her chest. For a moment, giving up seemed like the easiest thing to do. The contest felt too big, the drawing too hard, and her skills too small. She closed her eyes, feeling like all her practice hadn't helped at all. Just as Lily was about to give up on her leafy tree, her mom walked into the kitchen. Seeing Lily's sad face and the nearly crumpled paper, her mom knelt down. "What's wrong, sweetie?" she asked, her voice gentle. Lily pointed to the dark, blobby leaves. "It's just not working, Mom. I want to give up." Her mom hugged her tight. "Remember when you learned to ride your bike? You fell down so many times, but you kept getting back on. And now you can zoom all over town." Lily nodded, remembering her scraped knees. "Drawing is like that too," her mom continued. "Every mistake helps you learn. Don't give up on your beautiful tree." Later that week, her best friend, Sam, came over. He saw Lily's drawing and noticed her quiet mood. "Wow, Lily, that tree is getting so big," he exclaimed. "It looks just like the one in your yard. Don't stop now, you're doing great." Sam's simple words, full of belief, made Lily feel a little lighter. Their kindness and reminders that trying was important, even when things were hard, helped chase away the gloomy thoughts. She still felt a bit wobbly, but their love gave her the courage to pick up her paintbrush again. As Lily sat there, paintbrush in hand, her mom's words about her bike and Sam's encouraging smile echoed in her mind. Then, another memory bloomed in her thoughts, clear as day. Ms. Evergreen, her kind art teacher, standing beside her desk, saying, "Art isn't just about making things look perfect right away. It's about trying, learning, and putting your heart into it. I see your heart in this drawing." Ms. Evergreen had also shown her how to make the bird's wings a little rounder, teaching her that even small changes can make a big difference. Lily remembered how Ms. Evergreen always said that practice was the artist's best friend. She would often tell the class, "Every line you draw, every color you mix, is a step on your journey. Don't be afraid to make a mess, because sometimes the best art comes from trying new things and fixing old ones." These words, gentle yet firm, now felt like a warm hug for Lily's troubled heart. She looked at her oak tree drawing again, not with eyes full of disappointment, but with a flicker of hope. She wouldn't just throw it away. She would try again, just like Ms. Evergreen taught her. Taking a fresh brush, she decided to try painting the leaves in a different, lighter way. Armed with renewed hope, Lily tried painting the leaves again, this time with a lighter touch and a softer shade of green. Slowly, patiently, the blobs transformed into delicate, fluttering foliage, just as she had imagined. She spent the next few days adding the final touches. She painted tiny, brown birds perched on the branches, their little eyes bright and curious. She added gentle shadows under the tree, making it look as if the sun was truly shining on it. Each stroke was careful, thoughtful, and filled with the very heart Ms. Evergreen spoke of. Finally, one sunny afternoon, Lily stepped back from her easel. The drawing of the old oak tree was complete. It wasn't perfect, no drawing ever truly is, but it was hers. The twisted branches looked strong, the leaves danced in the imagined breeze, and the birds seemed ready to sing. A wide smile spread across her face. She felt a warmth bloom in her chest, not just from finishing, but from the journey she had taken. She remembered all the crumpled papers, the moments of doubt, and the kind words that kept her going. Looking at her finished artwork, Lily felt a deep sense of pride, not in winning a prize, but in the effort she had poured into every single part of it. She had worked hard, she had learned, and she had not given up. The morning of the school art contest dawned bright and clear, but Lily's tummy felt like it had a swarm of butterflies fluttering inside. She carefully carried her finished drawing of the oak tree to school, holding it close to her chest. Her heart thumped a nervous rhythm against her ribs. She had worked so hard, and she was proud of her tree, but now that the moment was here, all the what-ifs started dancing in her head. What if the judges didn't like it? What if other kids' drawings were much, much better? When she arrived at the school hall, it was already buzzing with excitement. Tables were lined up, covered with colorful drawings, paintings, and even sculptures made by students of all ages. Some looked so grand and fancy, with shiny frames and bright colors that seemed to pop right off the paper. Lily's nervousness grew, and she almost wanted to hide her drawing. But then, she remembered the feeling of pride from finishing her artwork, and Ms. Evergreen's gentle words about effort. She took a deep breath. She had done her best, and that was what truly mattered. With a mix of wobbly knees and a hopeful heart, Lily found a spot and carefully placed her drawing of the old oak tree on the table, ready for everyone to see. The moment arrived for the judges to announce the winners. Lily stood with her parents and Sam, her heart doing somersaults. The principal spoke, praising all the young artists for their amazing work. Then, the names of the winners were called out. First place went to a dazzling painting of a spaceship, and second place to a detailed clay sculpture of a dragon. Lily listened, her shoulders drooping a little when her name wasn't called for the top spots. A small wave of disappointment washed over her, even though she knew she had done her best. Just as she thought it was all over, the principal cleared his throat. "We also have a special mention this year," he announced, "for an artwork that truly shows incredible effort, passion, and growth. This artist has poured their heart into every detail, overcoming challenges to create a truly heartfelt piece. This special mention goes to Lily, for her beautiful drawing of the old oak tree." Lily's eyes widened. A special mention. Her name. A warm blush spread across her cheeks as everyone clapped. Ms. Evergreen, standing nearby, gave her a proud smile and a wink. Lily didn't get a big shiny trophy, but the special mention felt even better. It was a prize for her effort, for not giving up, and that meant the world to her. As Lily walked off the stage, holding her special mention ribbon, her heart felt lighter than air. Her parents hugged her tightly, telling her how proud they were. Sam gave her a high five. Lily looked at the first-place winner with their big trophy, and for the first time, she didn't feel a pang of jealousy. Instead, she felt a different, deeper kind of happiness. She realized that the best part wasn't the prize, but the journey. It was all the hours she spent drawing, the times she wanted to give up but didn't, the little improvements she made, and the feeling of her heart pouring onto the paper. The special mention proved that her effort was seen and valued. It taught her a very important lesson. Trying your very best, even when it's hard, is truly more important than winning. Winning a prize is nice, But the feeling of knowing you gave something your all, and learned along the way, is a much bigger reward. From that day on, Lily carried this lesson with her, understanding that true success comes from perseverance and passion, not just from being first. From that day forward, the special mention ribbon became a cherished reminder for Lily, not of winning, but of the power of trying. It hung proudly above her drawing desk, a constant little cheerleader. Lily continued to draw, but now with a different kind of joy. The frustration still came sometimes, but it didn't last as long. Instead of crumpling her paper, she would pause, remember Ms. Evergreen's advice, and try a different way. She filled sketchbook after sketchbook with her drawings. Her fluffy clouds became softer, her squirrels looked livelier, and Buster's playful jumps finally seemed to spring right off the page. She experimented with new colors and learned how light and shadows could make her pictures feel real. Her art wasn't just about drawing what she saw, it was about drawing what she felt. Every day, with every new line and every splash of color, Lily's skills grew. Her hands became steadier, her eyes sharper, and her imagination soared. She discovered new ways to express herself, creating art that truly reflected her unique view of the world. Her passion for drawing only grew stronger, fueled by the simple truth that practice truly does make progress. Many years passed, and Lily grew up, but her love for art never faded. Instead, it blossomed even more beautifully, like a well-tended garden. The little girl who once struggled with wobbly lines became a successful artist, known for her vibrant paintings of nature and animals. Her artwork now graced the walls of galleries and homes, bringing joy to many. People loved her paintings because they captured the true spirit of life, full of color and feeling. When she gave talks about her art, Lily often shared her story, starting from the little girl who loved to draw but felt frustrated by her mistakes. She would tell them about Ms. Evergreen, her parents, and Sam, and the special mention ribbon that taught her a powerful lesson. It wasn't about being perfect right away, she'd say, her voice warm and clear. It was about learning, trying again, and never, ever giving up on what you love. Her words resonated with aspiring young artists and anyone who faced a tough challenge. Lily's journey showed everyone that with enough hard work and a brave heart, dreams truly can come true. She became a shining example that perseverance can lead to wonderful achievements, inspiring countless others to keep trying, no matter how bumpy the path might seem. Lily's journey, from a young girl struggling with her wobbly drawings to a successful artist inspiring many, teaches us a truly powerful lesson. It shows us that life is full of challenges, just like Lily faced with her art. Sometimes, things won't look right, and we might feel like giving up. But Lily's story reminds us that those moments of wanting to quit are exactly when we need to remember the power of perseverance. Just like Lily kept practicing, learning from her mistakes, and listening to kind advice, we too can keep going when things get tough. Her special mention ribbon wasn't just for a drawing, it was for her spirit, her hard work, and her refusal to let frustration win. It proved that trying your best, pushing through difficulties, and never giving up on your dreams can lead to wonderful things. So, no matter what your dream is, whether it's drawing, playing a sport, learning a new skill, or solving a tricky puzzle, remember Lily. Remember that with a little bit of courage, a lot of practice, and a heart full of hope, you can overcome anything and reach for the stars. Never give up.